Whoopsie. Here we go. Come, let us explore the side of meditation the media won't show you. Or in other words, why even meditate? This could best be explained by the Buddha within the Buddha's first lesson, allegedly. Some people feel the Buddha was just a teaching tool, an archetype. But either way, the lesson remains, and it's the Four Noble Truths. There we go. So the path the Buddha discovered, the path that according to the Buddha could be mastered in as little as a week, is the Eightfold Path. Oops, I think there is a challenge here. Let's go back, make sure the right button has been pushed. Okay. Well, there we go. So, why meditate? Because if we don't meditate, we're going to be stuck forever in our dopamine cycle. Instead of it being a little thing that makes life, that helps us to survive, it's going to completely dominate our worldview. It's going to control our choices and our utterances and our deeds. And it's going to be deeply, deeply frustrating. However, the liberation the Buddha offers us is not freedom from the presence of our survival mechanisms, but from their tyranny. So they control our choices, utterances, and deeds less and less and less. That concludes our opening lesson. Now let us prepare for our group meditation. It is Qui-Gon Jinn Tuesday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. And we shall do so after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. So let us turn our attention now to the latest iteration of very easy meditation. Welcome to the first quarter of mindful crease counting meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could multiply this by 8 sets for a total of 96 inhalations, and we could count those 8 sets on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does that look a little blurry to you? Well, it looks a little blurry to me. Okay. Now, the question remains, how are we going to keep track of this, our first quarter? And the answer is quite simple. We're going to rest the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger, upon the tip of our left little finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Please chant with me. The nudity of the octuple couple sporting and tantric union reminds us of the vulnerability so crucial to mindfulness. Home, and let's make that Arial. That's better. The nudity of the octuple couple sporting and tantric union reminds us of the vulnerability so crucial to mindfulness. The nudity of the archetypical couple sporting in tantric union reminds us of the vulnerability so crucial to mindfulness. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we are wired to access our sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to help us to vulnerably, to notice in a very special way, to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly, but notice what? To notice mind's antics of perception, seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling, and the like, including emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. Now that's a whole bunch. Is there a hack to make this easy? Yes. Yes, there is. When we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we gently persuade our cerebral cortex to stop competing with our sympathetic nervous system and begin cooperating with it. And that, my friends, is mindfulness. Now for a very concise reminder of meditation. When we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we cooperate with our parasympathetic nervous system to such a degree that we physically relax and mentally release in such a manner as to cause what we noticed during our previous inhalation to fleetingly feel less tantalizing, less permanent, and less defining. And this, of course, is the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Paths, deep familiarization with the literal impermanence that supports letting go. And we experience it effortlessly and automatically simply by playing with mindfulness and meditation. So come, let us train mindfulness and meditation right now. Good morning and welcome to the second quarter of Mindful Crease Counting Meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply these 12 inhalations by 8 sets, and you've got 96 inhalations, which we could keep track of. We could keep track of these 8 sets upon our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sets of 12 inhalations each. Now, to keep track of this, our second quarter, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger, upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Please chant with me. The translucence of the archetype of the all-good father and mother depicted in paintings reminds us of meditation's experience of impermanence and non-graspability. The translucence of the archetype of the all-good father and mother depicted in paintings reminds us of meditation's experience of impermanence and non-graspability. The translucence of the archetype of the all-good father and mother depicted in paintings reminds us of meditation's experience of impermanence and non-graspability. Quick review of how mindfulness works. As we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, our sympathetic nervous system helps us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. And now let's explore the neuroscience of meditation. Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we are already wired to effortlessly access the parasympathetic nervous system. Divided between its lower third and its upper third, this bad boy has evolved to help us both physically relax as well as mentally release, to the degree that what we noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Way back in 4th grade, our teachers should have taught us that a simile is only as poignant as it is relatable. So we have to ask the question, what is a real-world example of a non-graspable vast empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could be tantalizing to the eye, is non-graspable to the hand? And so we see that the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, deep familiarization with the figurative emptiness that supports our mental release, comes about effortlessly and automatically because of our practice of mindfulness and meditation. Therefore, let us play with mindfulness and meditation right now. Welcome to the third quarter of mindful crease counting meditation. To keep track of this third quarter, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger, upon the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. It really feels blurry, doesn't it? My goodness. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the heart region of our chest. Please chant with me. The beauty of the archetype sky blue kuntu zong po and cloud white kuntu zong bo yam yam reminds us of the highest love, spontaneous and uncontrived. The beauty of the archetype sky blue kuntu zong po and cloud white kuntu zong bo yam yam remind us of the highest love, spontaneous and uncontrived. The beauty of the archetype sky blue kuntu zong po and cloud white kuntu zong bo yam yam remind us of the highest love, spontaneous and uncontrived. Oh, good. Okay, and one more. All right, Sturgeon's Law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks. What could that suckiness look like? It could look like the religious patriarchy that promotes being rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. So much so that meditation teachers implore their students to actively focus and actively analyze. The only neural pathways that are capable of such behavior are those found in very discrete regions of the brain, such as the medial prefrontal cortex or the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. The problem is that once we exhaust this prefrontal cortex, it stimulates our amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression. I dare say none of us chose meditation because we wanted more anxiety and aggression, but actually because we wanted less. When the few who are self-aware enough to notice that they're growing in crankiness and anxiety, they just double down and try focusing on love or contemplating love, but that just further excites their amygdala. However, when we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this in harmony with our inhalation, thus causing our sympathetic nervous system to cause us to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly all of mind's antics of perception, or whatever mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, or imagination breaches the surface of our awareness. And when we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, thus causing us to physically relax and mentally release enough to cause what we noticed to fleetingly feel less tantalizing, less permanent, and less defining, something amazing happens. First, it squelches the intensity of our anxiety and aggression. Second, it reduces the degree to which that anxiety and aggression control our choices and utterances and deeds. And third, it stimulates our anterior cingulate gyrus, which functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy, which is the root of compassion and love. This is exactly why the late Tulku Thondup insisted that the highest love was not a mere analog, flaccid and worthless and weak, the product of contrived focus and analysis, but rather that the highest love was a spontaneous and effortless byproduct of awareness and release. This is very important because 50% of the Buddha's Eightfold Path pertains to loving kindness, which results in intentions, mental morality, communications, interpersonal morality, conducts, or I should say, physical morality, and commerce's cooperative and kind, circumstantial morality. All this is due simply, all this is the effortless byproduct of mindfulness and meditation, simply giving birth to kindness. Together as a team, let us practice right now. And remember, the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist philosophy, or Buddhist meditation, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Welcome to the fourth quarter of mindful crease counting meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply this by 8 sets and you've got 96 inhalations. We could keep track of our 8 sets on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 12 inhalations each. We could keep track of this, our fourth quarter, by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger, upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite the real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. Okay, let's see if this fits on the screen appropriately. Okay. Let me try something real quick. What if I just reduced the size of the font down to 33? Would that do it? Let's find out. Oops, wrong button. Let's try 30, maybe that'll do it. Okay. Okay, that works. 32 is the magic word. Okay. Let's try this over here as well. Okay, thank you for your patience. Together. The stability with which the archetypes guide blue samanta bandara sits, and the abandon with which cloud white samanta bandari sports. Aha, this might be even better, please bear with me. Let's reduce this to 34 and see if that fits. Okay, how about 33? Okay, how about 32? Okay. The stability with which a octave sky blue samanta bandara sits, and the abandon with which sky blue cloud white samanta bandari sports, reminds us of the effortless effort of centered spontaneity. The stability with which a octave sky blue samanta bandara sits, and the abandon with which God blew Samanta Badri sports reminds us of the effortless effort of scented spontaneity. The stability with which the octaves God blew Samanta Badra sits, and the abandon with which cloud-white Samanta Badri sports reminds us of the effortless effort of scented spontaneity. Here's a quick review of mindfulness. When we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, our sympathetic nervous system helps us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. It also helps us notice which of those things we desire, which of those we dread, and consequently which of those we feel resistance towards. Resistance towards the absence of what we desire, and resistance towards the presence of what we dread. However, this brings us to meditation. When we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, our parasympathetic nervous system helps us to both physically relax as well as mentally release to the degree necessary to help us to release or let go of that which we noticed, whether we desire it or dread it, whether we feel resistance towards its absence or resistance towards its presence. This letting go does not mean it's no longer there. Letting go no longer means we are no longer wired to push against the harmful or pull towards the beneficial. It simply means that that which we perceive controls our choices, utterances, and deeds less and less and less. And that is the freedom, that is the liberation that was promised in the Buddha's original teachings. Let's practice. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 or so hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.